Hello, guys. Just want to come on here, give a weekly review of the trades I took and all the signals that were provided to me. And after that, I'm going to be doing a weekly outlook for the upcoming week. So, first, I'm going to bring your attention to the economic calendar for last week. So, before looking at the charts, the days I'm interested in trading are Wednesday and Thursday. So, if you recall in my last weekly outlook, I was looking for this weekly buy side here, which you can see that hasn't been reached. So, I'll drop down to a daily chart. So, I'm letting Monday through Wednesday on the daily chart, letting that print out, leaving me with a bias going into Wednesday and Thursday. So, if I mark out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So Wednesday, I'm interested in trading. So I see this swing high and this swing low on a daily basis. So before Wednesday opens up, I'm working within this swing low and this swing high as my range. So that's when we drop down into our hourly chart for our intraday, perspective, where we are within that range. So this is that range low, that daily sell side, and this daily buy side. And if we go back to the calendar, Wednesday, Thursday are the days we're interested in trading. So we let Monday, Tuesday print out. I'm going to mark my midnight open on Wednesday. So now I'm asking myself, are we bullish or bias going into our New York kill zone? So what I see here is this gap down on Tuesday. So I see that gap. So bearish institutional order flow is bearish as of Tuesday with this change in the state of delivery. And then we go into Wednesday. So I'll drop down to my entry time frame. You can see on Wednesday in London session, we manipulate into that hourly gap. And then with the 8:30 news release, we displace. Let me draw the gap with a market structure shift and a fair value gap. So your entry would be here, stop above the high, and you can target this hourly sell side liquidity pool right here for 2.6R. So 2.6R on Wednesday. I was busy with the other work I have, so I couldn't participate on this day. However, I'll bring you into Thursday's trade. So same concept, I'm drawing my midnight open always. That's the very first step. But I'll go back up to an hourly chart. So as you can see, we had that M15 entry. And if I zoom in a little bit, this is that hourly swing low. This is why you always want to take low-hanging fruit. If I targeted that low, I wouldn't have got filled because I would have got stopped out, and then it ran for that sell side and this sell side liquidity pool. So now, going into Thursday's session on an hourly chart, we are making higher highs. You see this high, this high, this high. I'd see that as a 3 drives pattern. And right here at London session, we had a change in the state of delivery. This up close candle, we closed below it at 4 o'clock. We tested at 5 o'clock, and then we're this is at this point bearish institutional order flow is present. So what I see is this Wednesday swing low, which is also previous day low. So now I'll go down to my entry time frame. So on Thursday we had 8:30 news. At 8:30 we had this change in the state of delivery in the hourly chart. And if you extend that out in time, at 8:30 we bump into it again, and bodies, notice the bodies respecting that hourly change in the state of delivery, and we sell off. At this point, I'm looking for displacement and a market structure shift for an entry, and we had that right here. So I sold short here, put my stop at the candle 1, and I was targeting previous day low. And I was also looking at this swing low just beyond previous day low on the 4-hour chart right here. So if I go back to entry, I could have took some off at previous day low or targeted even that H4 sell side for 2R. So just unfortunate. I followed my rules. I followed my plan. The only thing that I didn't do on my part this week was, unfortunately, I'm working on another business, and I couldn't trade on Wednesday, which was the winning day. But nonetheless, on Thursday, I would have took that trade anyway, and unfortunately for me, it was just a -1R week. But data-wise, this was a 1.5R week with a -1, and we'll call it 2.5 here. So that's 1.5R. So as long as I follow my plan, my rules, I know long term I will be successful. It just sucks in the moment because I have to work on another business until I can become my own boss in 2 different realms. So that sucks, but I've always had a long-term vision, and it's just what I have to do to achieve that. So anyway, we'll go into our weekly outlook part of the video. So this upcoming week, similar to last week, we have news on Wednesday and Thursday. But before looking at the calendar, I'm not interested with 8:30 on Wednesday. I'm going to wait for 9:30 equities open. I'm going to wait for this news to pass on Wednesday. And then Thursday, I will treat as a normal kill zone up to 12 o'clock on Thursday, since it's Thursday. I allow setups up to noon on Thursday and Friday specifically. So we'll go into the weekly chart. Again, I still see this swing high. That still is in my attention, but I also see this low. So I'm kind of seeing this volume imbalance here being respected as of yet, or as of now. So if we make that red, drop down to the daily chart. I don't know why I didn't show. So on the daily chart, what I'm seeing here is we had this bullish change in the state of delivery, but then now we came up into this internal range, tapped this bearish order block here, and notice the bodies almost perfectly overlapping that weekly imbalance here. So if I go back to the down daily, body completely fills it. And now we're just kind of stuck in a range between this high and this low. So what I want to see is, what do we do from here? We have this little imbalance I'm watching. We have this, I would call this a balanced price range right here. So as a soft bias, I'm going to say if we remain below this, we're going to seek lows and eventually the sell side here. But if we get above this and we displace through these highs on a daily basis, then I will finally consider that weekly buy side. So I'm using this balance price range we have here with these two volume balances as my line in the sand for either side. If we do trade above, then I'm going to be watching how we trade above, these highs here. So that's just a quick weekly outlook. Of course, I'm going to play it by ear until Wednesday. Where are we at on, Tuesday night? That's going to be more helpful than with the information we have here. So until then, good luck and good trading.